Welcome to the Kiawah Island Resort in South Carolina for the final tournament of the Season 3 Tenacious Golf Tour. I am Earl, and this is Tenacious Sports, a channel which is devoted to showing tabletop sports games that will allow you to simulate and have fun recreating or creating new types of sports or sports leagues, sports tournaments, sports events, whatever floats your boat. In this case, we are playing out a fictional tour. These are all fictional players that were birthed in theory by play games, and this has been going on now for a few years now. I mean, obviously this is the third season, but I've been playing this a bit longer than because you can see down here we're saying 2020 in terms of the calendar year, spatially, whatever you want to call it, virtually here. We're kind of in 2020 because this is only the third season. And looking forward to the fourth one once I go ahead and get the PNG set. So that is the name of the set you would need to get for these fictional golfers from playclassic.com. Let's go over here to our screen where we're going to do our simulation of the 3 rounds. When you get History Maker Golf, which is the name of the game that we use for this, within that game, you are given a set of rules called Tournament Mode. And the basic principles of Tournament Mode are carried out here virtually in the spreadsheet environment. So it's taken me a better part of 2 or 3 years probably to really get this down to where it's working for me, to the point where I don't have to do the, usually what we're doing is we'd be shuffling cards and forming piles, and we'll talk about that once we get there. But we're going to do the first 3 rounds, and this will set up the final round leaderboard. Of course, we probably half the time get an emerging contender, which is someone who isn't on the leaderboard, who has a really great final round going and has a chance to win. But we'll get that all sorted out here in just a moment. What we're going to go through first is just take a look back at the year that was, or the season that was here. We start off with Gareth Leonard winning at the Tournament of Champions, and then Trent McAdams. So those are the 2 names who kind of like popped up throughout the year a ton. Leonard won 3 tournaments. Trent McAdams won 4, including the American Open. So a good all-around year. And actually, McAdams most recently won the Georgia Open Eastlake, which preceded this event. Dustin Emmerich, who had a dynamite 2019, is the defending champion of the Tenacious Pro Showcase. Basically, it's my virtual name for the PGA Championship. My decision was, back when I started this season, was that I was going to get rid of the playoff, and the end was going to be the PGA Championship equivalent. I kind of thought that's what the PGA Tour should have done. And anyway, so that's why we stand here with this. Let's take a look at the point standings going into this. In theory, well, let's see. How many... I think Trent McAdams is already locked up for the point win. I don't think he can do any better than... I don't think anybody can best him at this point. Justin Wallace actually is in second place in points with 2,300, and it's pretty close between him and Leonard. Now, Justin Wallace has 2 victories. Leonard has 3. The difference is Wallace has, I think, 7 top 5s, and Leonard only has maybe 4. He might have 1 other top 5 other than his 3 wins. Something to that effect. I was looking it up because it was interesting to me. Rance Aberley, with only 1 victory, sits in 4th place. He's had a really consistent year, just hasn't had enough of the wins to really be in the vying for that top spot. But a win here at Kiawah Island, which is a relatively difficult link style course along the Atlantic Ocean in South Carolina. Anything's possible. Same thing with Dustin Emmerich, who is, again, in 2019 was a phenom. Come to 2020, only has one win, but would love to get a second one here and pick up another major title. And then we have Evan Aldrich, another multiple winner, and I think that might be all the multiple winners that we have. Only 4 of them. It was a pretty decent swath of winners. So anyway, what I've done is I've taken the top 156 in points. In theory, what I actually did was I maybe took up to 159 because there are some injuries lingering that will prevent some of the guys from playing in this tournament. So we're making it. Hold on, I'm going to throw away this can and get a new one. And I should have done this before I started up, eh? But best laid plans. And I'm going to celebrate with a Diet Dr. Pepper. So, change up. Got out the off-speed pitch here. So, yeah, we have 156, basically the top 156 plus a couple more that are just on the fringe because we had to knock a couple out. Hi, Brandon. Yes. Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer. Fun for all. With History Maker Golf. In this special time of year. Something like that. So. Anyway, first off, I'm going to try and walk you through as much as I can through the spreadsheet. So these two numbers here, they are adjusters to this previous score to make a what the target score will be. You'll see if you get History Maker Golf and have tournament mode that you need to pick a target score. So we're going to paste values only. So that means our target's going to be 272, so they're going to go one stroke better on the target from last year. From last year's top score. Oh, and we're going to turn this into a major. There we go. A major minor. Whatever that means. Someone always, they used to say, you got to be careful not to major in the minors, right? Now we're going to take this. So this is my virtual dice rolls. So each of these, when you do the tournament mode, you're going to do through the cut round. So the first 2 rounds, you split them into piles and you roll dice. Well, these are the dice rolls. These are each 6-sided dice, and then this compiles them into one cell, and then we're going to paste the values, and then it will plop them into all of the things. So as you can see here, if I run down through the registration list here, there are going to be some guys that are missing. Ethan McMillan didn't finish in that top 156, even though he was rated 41. He didn't play well enough in the season. Actually, let's go over here and do a find. And he has a weird spelling of Ethan, so let's find, where is he at? It's a hidden cell. There, 213, 10 events. Okay, let's see. He only played in 10 events for whatever reason. No wins, no top 10s, only 30 points. So some of these guys, that's going to be the problem. Augie Kammerman, that's a shame. That's a great name. Alec Newcomb. And, they have enough. The thing is, they have enough points that they will almost certainly make the next tour, but... Or wait, no. What am I saying? This is based off of last season, so these guys are not going to be able to make the tour. Sorry, my bad there. I guess I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I kind of do. I just sometimes when you get to speaking stream of consciousness, you utter dumb things. Anyway, So anyway, guys like Eddie Sykes, Ellis Moberly. Let's see where Eddie Sykes ended up. Let's go back up to the top here. I'll go to like 129. Let's see. Let's find Sykes. 184. 14 events, so he played as much as the big dogs, but no top 10s this year. And so that's the way it goes in golf. What have you done for me lately? And obviously these guys haven't done much. So I think we were to the time. I kind of put in that time frame, 225. We're past 230, just in case anybody happens into YouTube and looks in their subscriptions and they see this live. I figured I'd give them a few minutes. We're going to go to cut round now. We're ready to cut it up. Cut up the dance floor. Shake a leg. Where did I put you? There you are, way up there. Bingo. Bingo. That is a Cousin Eddie move. I'll try, if I can think of it, I'll try to throw in as many like references to Christmas Vacation and such. So that's Cousin Eddie when Clark gets out his non-stick lubricant or whatever, or silicone-based thing up on the sledding hill, and he polishes up the sled, and Eddie goes through how he can't ride the sled down or the saucer or whatever because he, has a plate in his head, and if the microwave goes on, he urinates in his drawers and forgets his name for 2 days. I don't know. I can't remember how much, but anyway. So then, Clark ends up going through hell down the hill, and then goes into. At the time, I'm like, what the heck is Walmart? Anyway, at a time when it wasn't very pervasive in society, now it's like you can't go a mile without finding a Walmart, it seems. But there's like some kind of a drop thing there. I don't know if that's for photos or if that's for clothes, or I forget. Something there, and he hits it, or dumpster maybe, something like that. He hits it, and then Eddie goes, bingo. So there we go. Well, that might get old if I keep bringing up Christmas Vacation references, but it is Christmas time. All right, so I need to run a macro. This macro, what does it do? I'll open it up. You can see everything that I click here. So macros, paste values cut. So this is a mechanism that randomizes the cards. So if you have tournament mode, you're ready to go with your tournament. You've pulled out all the players that are going to play in your tournament. You then have to shuffle them up and then put them out into piles. And that's what this does. This is shuffling them and putting them into piles. And we should see all of these tournament ratings come up from the cards. I have the cards over here. We will use them in a bit. But like Rance Aberley, he probably will show up in these final pairings. It's very likely. But like this is his card. And you can see, if we get really close there, 1A at the bottom. That is his tournament rating. So that is kind of like an overarching rating, which sets guys when they don't make the final round. Well, it helps them kind of like a lot of times get into the final round, but it also, if they aren't there, they'll tend to move to the top, if you know what I mean. The lower the number, the better they are. And so like 1 is better than 2, 3, 4, right? So 1 is the best. And then A is another differentiator. So there's A, B, and C. A is better than B, better than C. So 1A is better than 2A. 1B is better than 2A, right? But 2A is better than 2B. 5A is worse than 4C, right? So that's the kind of mechanism. And that's what we have up here. And you'll get a sheet like this. I'm trying to show it in a way that doesn't show too much of the card itself, but it has two sides to it. It's called it's well, one is the first 2 rounds, and then the other half of the page is the third round, and then how to stage the final round. So it's really just like the way that tournament mode works. And so when we come up here to the top, I have in here my first roll. If we go over here to filled registration, you can see the first roll was 25. It shows up right over here. 25. So we go to the first 2 rounds and look at 25, and it says draw 3 golfers. So you think of this as a pile, and this is the top of the pile. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw this guy, and this guy right off the top. Glenn Frizzard, Dalmazio Zizi, and Max Elliott. So they have made the cut. So it's draw 3, and then it's the top 2 aside from that. So then we go through and we make an assessment of what the top 2 tournament ratings are out of this. So remember, 1 is better than 2. We don't have a 1. We do have a 2A, so that's the only 2. So they make the cut. And 3A will make the cut. And then all these other guys, they're going to miss the cut, and their season will basically be over now. They won't earn any money in this, and they can watch the rest of the tournament from the sideline. But it's going to be Yun Lee Song. We saw him, I think he finished second at Georgia, and Celestino Garcia. So that's going to be the first group, the first pile. So if you were to lay down 8 piles, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's an 8th one right over here. And then, so that's the morning. So that's going to be half of your 156. What is that? 78, right? It's going to go up here in the morning. Although it's not exactly that way. You can see down here are where, like, because the division doesn't work exactly right for 16. We have 4 piles that have 1 less. And I did put them in the afternoon. That's just, but it's all randomized, so if you get in one of those groups and you have a little better chance of making the final, making the cut and the weekend and making money, then I guess you're just fortunate that way, right? Okay, so we have 5 in there. Go to the next one, 14. Now this is a special one. You have a couple of the role types that will get you an outstanding golfer, which is basically saying, okay, we're getting guys that made the cut, generally speaking, but then there are going to be a couple of guys probably each round. Sometimes it's only 1, sometimes it's 0, sometimes it's 5 or 6, who have put themselves in a position where they'll probably be in the final groups, like they've shot really well, right? So that's what this outstanding is. So we're going to draw 3 based on 14. 1, 2, 3. So we got Jeffrey Clark, Heike Harhula, and Denny Rowetter. And now we're going to have 1 guy. The top remaining is outstanding. And the top 1, remember, 1 and then 2. So 2B will be the outstanding. That is Chico Fonseca. So that will be your outstanding golfer. And so he's going to get into, when we do the third round, outstanding guys have their own pile. And so if there's only 1, he has almost a guarantee of ending up in the final rounds, or final pairings. But we'll see if there's any others. All right, so 23. Draw 1. So you can see here that we're going to have, these rolls have a variety. Sometimes you're going to have a bunch of draws, which is kind of like a randomized selection, and only a few, sometimes none, right? Sometimes only draw golfers, other times only top golfers, and sometimes in a varied mixture. In this one, 23, we're going to have 1 draw and then 2 top. So what are the 2 top ones? We got a 1B, and then out of the 2s we have, so that's going to be Michael Reed is the 1 draw, Enrique Magallanes, who has won a tournament, I believe, this year. I think he actually won a major. We can look. Magallanes won the Masterful. So but he's only won one tournament. Anyway, we come back here. So now what we have is we have a 2B, but we also have a second 2B and no 2As. So in the cut rounds, we can allow a tie to come through. So we're going to take 4 guys. So we get both 2Bs, and they're just made the cut. So it's going to be Burke Yielding and Adam Trenchard. So that's good. Now 46. This one's going to generate a few more golfers than typical. It's going to be a total of 6 or more. So it's going to be, we're going to draw one. We'll draw this 4A guy, Kenneth Hahn. And then it's going to be the top 4. So we don't have any 1s. We do have a couple of 2s. It's going to be the 2C, or 2B first, and then 2C. So Gil Granbury, Bob. We'll see. He's still got this one to go. And now we go to the 3s, and there's a 3A, which is Marshall Weber, and now 2 3Bs, and we're going to take them both. So we're going to end up with 6, right? Mackay Berry, who's kind of an enigmatic. I created that card, and so he is going to be in the weekend rounds. Tor Bingen. I think he's Norwegian. All right, 13. We're going to draw 2, and interesting that it's going to help somebody because it's going to help a good player that we see a 1A here in these top 2. So we're going to draw 2. It's a 3A, but there's also a 1A. So is this Rance? No, it's Trent McAdams. So Dwayne Bradshaw, I think he won a tournament this year. Dwayne, yes, he won the Copperhead down at Innisbrook. He'll make it, and Trent McAdams makes it on the draw. So that means another top golfer is going to get through because of that. And actually, it's going to be a 3A here. So somebody who is not necessarily one of the best golfers, but he's pretty good. And so a 3A is going to be your top golfer that's left over. And who is that going to be? That will be Heath Summers. So he's been a mainstay. He's won majors. He may have even won the first. Let's back out here. Career leaders. Might as well have some fun with this. We have some time. And so there's Yun Lee Song. Once this loads up, so this is my little tool for, we can take a look at their player card. Heath Summers. Takes a minute. There's a lot of data that's getting cold. Australian, he was the first in points. He won the tour the first year. Total winnings 17,544,000, and basically a flat screen TV added in there as well. 5 victories, but none this year. So he has been on the short end of it here this year, but he gets in. So maybe a chance. We'll see. Maybe not. 24, draw 2. And then the top 2 remaining. So we've got, we look through here, 1C. And then we have a number of 2As, and they will all get in because it's a tie, remember? So Dustin Emmerich is a 1C. So the 2 draws are Tord Thorson, Wyatt Sells, and now let's take all these 2As. Evan Aldrich, Elaine Zelderloo, he was recently in a final round pairing, and Martin Van Dyke. Martin Van Dyke's kind of this, he's one of these weird guys that always seems to underperform, but he's always there. All right, 66, draw 1 outstanding golfer. So here we go with a 3A outstanding. That's it. These 2 C's right here are not going to come through. And it's Joshua New is going to be in the outstanding group, outstanding pile. So you can see that there are cases where you end up with a very small contingent, and it's not. Sometimes that could have been someone up as high as 5 or 6 or 7 with being draw. Anyway, so 16. 16 is going to be draw 5 golfers. So you're going to get 5 random guys. It's going to be Javon Greer, Angus Ingram, Kenji Morita, David Alvestad. He was, we had to take him out of contention in the Georgia Open. And then Connor Messick. And then one that is top. And it's going to be the 1C right there. And this is going to finish the morning. Su Cheng Tien. Yeah, I mean, if you want to see anybody else's history, we can bring it up there. So just, if anybody trips your trigger as far as looking at somebody like Trenchard here. Let's take a look at Adam Trenchard. Where is that? Right here. We can, he won the very first tournament, if I do recall correctly. It's either him or, yeah, I think it was him. First at Silverado. He's won one tournament. He won the very first one. But he's had a pretty good career, you know. 7.7 million. You know, you can afford an outhouse in Los Angeles with that, but he's from England, so I don't know. Hopefully housing prices are better there. Bedwetter, yeah. Okay, let's take a look at Rowetter. And while I'm drawing this up, bringing him up here, can I refill your eggnog? Get you something to eat? Drive you out in the middle of nowhere, leave you for dead? So, Denny Bedwetter from Rochester, New York. How about that? I picked the Bedwetter to be from one of my favorite cities of all time. One win this year. He won the championship of the UK. So, he broke through and not only got a win, he got a major. Still ranked 36 this year, so only 2 top 10s. One of them being the win. So, yeah, there you go. Hi, Derek. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, I'd love to have it where someone could kind of like... It'd be nice to set it up on my WordPress blog so that someone could kind of go through and horse around with it and dig through the data. Maybe at some point I'll figure that out. I don't want to underestimate that maybe I'd be able to figure that out, but it's sometimes it's time, right? 16, we have another 16, so that's going to be 5 draw. And the 1B is in there, so that's going to let this 3C end up being the... so that's Westinghouse there. Kenny Service, Yi Chen, Franz Hockel, Kerry Finley. One thing I love about doing these things, you always get to see some names that have just kind of hung around and never have really gotten their due. Like Yi Chen has been there from the get-go, and I still am waiting for him to... So this 3C is going to be the top golfer, John Reisner. 26, we're going to get another one with 6. It's going to be top 4. 2, 3, 4. And the top one left, oh boy, we're going to get a bunch in this one. 4 A's. So Hudson Parsons, Ian Robards, Gary Patel. This was a weak group, but we get a lot of them through Romeo Stone, and then Ji-Woon Ko, Jurgen Biermann, Brian Bauer. So that's 7 total. That's a lot. All right, 23. Draw 1. That's a 1B. Shinji Kanishi, previous major winner. Then 1, so we're going to draw, or top 2. So 1C. Don't tell me it's the 3Bs. It is. So we're going to get 3 additional ones there. Fabio Antonucci. So Gareth Leonard was this guy. Jimmy Kimes, Marcus Simanowicz. I got to hide a couple of these other sheets here. Some of the... Let me see. How many players? 53 so far. We want less than 80. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got to be averaging about 5 to not end up butting up against. So 44. Draw 1. Nick Yarlett, and then the top 4. 1, 3A, Myung Cho. 2, Carlos Solari. I used to do that. He was in there a lot for a while, but his tournament rating went from probably like a 2C up to a 3B. Rudy Wallace and Craig Angelo. So that's another 5. 66, one outstanding draw. Joey Manini. I'll be right back. What's that? Oh, okay. What do you want me to do with her? Okay. Is it a big problem? Lulu. Come on. Come on, Lulu. Come on. Come on. Here, Lulu. Hey. No. Yeah. Come on, Lulu. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here you go. You're okay. Hey, it's okay. I'm okay. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. Hey. What's wrong? You're okay. I just slipped and fell. It wasn't your fault. Stupid socks are too, Ho! Let's see. Just curious. Notice some of the ratings have been adjusted. Okay. Sorry about the delay, as well as if you heard any. I was coming down the steps and I slipped, and I am okay. I thought I had hurt worse than I did. So anything that I prepared, I made an adjustment to, but Play also does adjustments on the fly. So each set that comes out has a new adjustment, so they kind of like do their own process. Keeping an eye on the dog here. The dog is being good. You're being good. So she's a little skittish, and it didn't really help the situation that I fell. She probably thinks that she did something wrong. But yeah, so they make the adjustments. Again, apologies for the delay. See if we can get this done and see if I can kind of keep one eye on the dog. She's inquisitive. And she does on occasion chew, and I just want to keep an eye and make sure that she's not doing what I think she might want to do here. Anyway. All right, so Joey Manini is the outstanding. We're going to go 40. I'm going to go a little quicker now because I have this dog who is not necessarily, doesn't play well with all sorts of things. The dog, she's part Mississippi Leghound. It's best if she starts in, best to just let her finish. Right? Which makes no sense because she's a female, but I don't know. She might still hump your leg. You never know. Top 4. Oh, here we go. Come here, Lulu. Come on up here. Hey. Come here. Hey. Come here. Lulu. There, you see her there? My big fat butt's in the way. Can you see her? You can see her tail maybe. Oh, there you are. Hey, you're a good girl. She's a good girl. Oh. She probably thought I was hurt. Anyway, let's put this back up here. Okay, 46. So it's going to be the top 4. So 3 Bs, 4 B, and then the 4 Cs. So we're going to get 6 here. Now 13 will be better. 13 is draw 2. So Valenti, Ollinger, Cavallari, Rocha, Canepa, James. And then Huffman and Hyde are the 2 draw. And then the top remaining is going to be 2A, Jay Laufenberg. Let's see, what's she up to? What are you up to? You better leave my guitar pedals alone. Oh, why don't you lay down and take a nap? Be a good girl. You're good. All right, last one, 25. That's going to be draw 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Gail Honorado, Duke Vernon, Ruben Riggs, and then the top 2 are 1A, Rance Aberley, and 1C is going to be Justin Wallace. And that is it. Lay down, Lulu. Hey. She's got a little bit of troublemaker in her. Little bit of trouble. She's been nosing through the trash. Just kidding. No, that's another line, right? Yeah, that was it. I tried to shine up the steps with the non-caloric silicone base kitchen lubricant. Yes. I'm hoping that I can finish this out. The sticky situation, to kind of go opposite the lubricant, is that my wife is taking this opportunity to wrap some gifts for the kids, and so the dog wasn't playing too well as far as the presents go. So let's get this third round. Now we've got everybody. How many do we have here? 73. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good contingent. Let's go to the third round. Let's run the macro on the paste values. And so this randomizes. It's going to create the piles and you can see here's the outstanding down here. And now let's go with the third round. So we got the roll of 35, which we look at draw golfer contends with A. And so the letter grades are A+ is there. That's the best score you can have based on what your target score is. All the way down to D-, which is like Loserville. And not Psychoville, where Finkel's the mayor. But well, that's not that's not Christmas Vacation. That's Ace Ventura. Top golfer A-, 1B here. A-, and then everybody else contends with B. So everything from B- down is finish, but B and up is contends, and then you just take basically the top 12 out of those. And so 11, top golfer A+, it's going to be 1C. Is this Wallace? It is Su Cheng Tian. Wow, that would be an interesting name. Others contend with B+. So you'll be able to see all the other names here that go into the B+ and the B. 24, top golfer oh wait, let's see. I got to get this right. 11 gets a perk or issue. 35 does not. All right. 24 does. Top golfer contends with A. So that's going to be 1A. Others finish with C. So that's Trent McAdams, the point leader. So he's going to be in the final groups. Finish with C+, and so we're going to get a 1B and a 2A. Elaine Zeller. Shinji Kanishi is not going to be in those groups. He's going to finish with C+. So probably about 8 or 9 shots back. You're being good. She's being good now. She's kind of calmed down. It's the way it goes with these dogs sometimes. You know, they get a little... they get all excited. And she doesn't come down here to the basement much, so she was all excited about getting to come down here and snoop around. So, okay, we're going to go to the fourth pile. 13 is the number, so that's a draw golfer goes to A+. Who's our draw golfer going to be? It's Ruben Riggs, and he gets a perk issue. So, wow, that's an outlier. It's going to be one of those cards that I created. Top golfer A-. 1A. Whoops, I don't need to click that. I need to click this. A-, that's Aberley, right? And C+ is going to be the finish for this group. All right, we'll come down here to 14. Top golfer contends with A. All right, so we have a tie at 1C. So we have 0 and 1. So these are decider dice. So the first guy is 0, the second one is 1. So the 0 is going to be B plus, and the other one is going to be, since that's going to be dot is 1, that's going to be the A. So Emmerich is B plus, A is Gareth Leonard, and everybody else finishes with C. That's going to include a 2A, Martin Van Dyke, Adam Trenchard at 2B. So we're going to have a pretty top-heavy tournament here. A lot of top golfers getting through. Draw golfer on 36. Top golfer, A minus. This 3A here is the top golfer. How about that? A minus. Heath Summers, he's going to get through. Maybe he'll finally break through. Low golfer, 7B. That's going to be D minus. And then everybody else finishes with C minus. 46, draw golfer, A minus. So we got 4B here. That is Angus Ingram. Let me see. 36, that didn't get one. 14 didn't get one. Okay, so just trying to make sure I get the perks and issues that are to be meted out. Draw golfer, A minus. Low golfer, D minus. That will be 4A, 4B. Who is that? That's Rudy Wallace. And now others finish with D. And now the outstanding pile is a 15. Draw golfer. So this has been randomized as well. That's going to be A with a perk or issue. So this is Joshua New. Top golfer, A minus. That's going to be the 2B of Chico Fonseca. Others finish with C minus, so that will be Joey Manini is going to end up at C minus. So that is going to be how this is coursed out in the third round. And now we'll go to the final round setup. And so this is where we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and so whoever is the true, it's going to be Dustin Emmerich is going to be the last guy in, I believe. So let's do the perks and issues. Su-Cheng Tien. We go to the other side of the tournament mode. It's going to have Tourney Day, perks and issues 2 and 2, gain storm equality. Trent McAdams 4 and 3 start with 1 blue chip. Only 1. Ruben Riggs, 6 and 6, gain extra control with a 1. That's going to be a TFN. I don't remember his cards, so I don't know whether or not that's going to be of help to him or not. We'll see. But he'll have the white 4 be worth something to him. That'll be golfer control. Depends on how good his card is, right? Joshua New, 5-3. Start the round with 3 blue chips. Okay, so there we go. And this is how it's going to stack up here. It's going to be Ingram, Fonseca, Emmerich in the first group off. Then Magallanes, Aberley, Heath Summers, Trent McAdams, Garrett Leonard, Joshua New, and Ruben Riggs, Su-Cheng Tien. Riggs is actually going to be in the lead. Su-Cheng Tien, so that's where the decider die comes in after you set that up. You're being so good. Wish I could show you. She's just sitting there. She gets these ears like Dobby from Harry Potter that are just so cute. You're just so cute. Her tail's just a wagging. Once I'm done here, I'll go and pet her, and she'll just be so excited. Yeah, so that is how it's going to shake out. Those are going to be Well, let's take a look at the cards. And this is the previous set, so I don't think there's too much writing on me showing you the cards. So Rance Aberley, that's his card. Who else? Granbury. Gil Granbury. Emmerich slid in there. I will probably go ahead and just play the whole thing out here when I have time on camera, since people tend to like Emmerich, even though for me he's sort of a heel. Chico Fonseca. Got some good qualities. Alright, I think that's everybody in the A through G. Then we have Angus Ingram. Angus Ingram. Got, let's see, who else here? Gareth Leonard. If he could win this, there would at least, it would be his, would that be his fourth win? Might give him at least some sympathy vote for possibly a Player of the Year as an alternative to Trent McAdams. You know, you might get some of the international contingent with the Scot there, but you know, we shall see. So Magallanes, Le Spaniard, although that's French, I think. Whoa, I just about knocked my cards off. Would have been a big mess. McAdams. What else do we have here? Joshua New. The new kid in town. Probably can't see him so well, but that's okay. Ruben Riggs. The extra control, he may need it to stay near the lead. His card is not so impressive. He's got no putting. He's a neutral putter, so sometimes on some of these cards I feel like I skewed it a bit too much into the gold putting and semi-gold, but all right, Su Cheng Tien. There he is. Anybody else? Oh, Heath Summers. Heath Summers, mate. And is that it? I believe that's everybody. So, yeah, Ruben Riggs in this. I couldn't be so. You know, if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than him making the final here. But, what are we gonna do? Let's cut over to. Is this gonna be too much of a big problem? Nah, we can do this. Oh, well, we might as well set this up while we're here. Remember, I had to spread this out a bit. So, desktop 2. I had to change things up a little bit because of the... It kind of messes with things when I have an emerging contender. So, yeah, that's that. Get this blasted keyboard out of the way. And let's turn this thing over here. I guess I should have left it if you're getting into this and you're just checking this out and you're interested in more about why, oh, there's that unseemly can. Interested in knowing more about the actual way you should do the pup is Lulu, and she's just sitting there on this couch that we have with her head on the armrest. You can't see me now, but it's like she's just her head on it, looking and wagging her tail. Just so she just is such a good dog. She gets excited. That's the thing, but nothing wrong with a dog that gets excited, right? Just young, only about a year old, so she came from a shelter, so that's another part of the reason that she's probably a little, things like me falling and making a big hoot and holler about it hurting makes her think she did something wrong, because she probably wasn't treated so well previously, and doing the best we can. And I actually think she's doing quite well for the most part. Took a while to get the whole not too long, about a week or two, she got comfortable with the not going inside deal, not using the facilities. But that was really like the point where the stress level came down. Now you just get a little stressed about maybe she wants to chew some things, so you gotta pay some attention to her. But anyway, it's going quite well. So that's going to be the setup. What do I want to see here? Let's see. We've got the blue chip thing. Let's go ahead and put the blue chips out that we're going to put out. Here's that. I'm not going to play the game today, or the final round. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to tomorrow. But tomorrow is also a day I don't want to just willy-nilly just spend 4 or 5 hours farting around with this game. So, as much as it would be fun, spending time with family is also important and fun. So, 3 blue chips for New. He is right here. 1 blue chip for McAdams, right there. Extra control for Riggs. I'm just going to take we don't use the tournament rating, so I just write over top of that with a dry erase so I can remember extra control. And then Stormy, I can put this on here. Who was Stormy? It was, shoot, I can't remember now. Sucheng Tien. And I can show you here. I don't often show you this screen, but so this is how I enter the scores. And so you can see here, because I put Tien in here, it goes dark. And if someone was Sunny, like Leonard, you could see he would light up yellow for Sunny. But I'll take this away. All right, well, I got to go now because I've spent enough time doing this, and the dog has been super, super, super patient. So thanks for watching. We'll get back to this in probably tomorrow afternoon. So until then, keep rolling. If you have any questions, leave a comment, hit like, subscribe. We'll see you soon.